Folks, welcome to the Call of Duty, or the College Call of Duty League. We're here on the Bravo stream for day 2 of stage 2. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Rome. We're here to bring the action for the day. Rome, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing absolutely incredible. Get to be back on the mic with you yet again, so it's going to be a lot of excitement. We're going to be getting a lot of hype plays for sure, because guess what? We're going to be kicking things off with a fan favorite in Penn State going up against KSU.
Oh, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. We're looking into the Southeast Tier 1 division. Penn State barely exiting, exiting Division 1, not barely, but very dominantly with a 12-0 record, where Kennesaw State exiting Division 3 in the Southeast in a very, very tight manner, 9-2, winning a tiebreaker over GSU. Let's take a look at this head-to-head, Rome, and let's kind of break things down for these two squads, because they're kind of polar opposites moving into this Tier 1.
Yeah, right here, if you look at it, we talked about it, Kennesaw, they pretty much got in by the skin of their teeth. They were able to win a tiebreaker matchup to get into this one, and if you look at the hardpoint wins and losses, 16-0, currently flawless out of the side of Penn State. And, overall on Penn State, completely flawless, aside from that one map of Search and Destroy, and that one map came in Week 1. So anytime that happens, and since Week 1, the squad has not dropped a map, not one map. Listen, Kennesaw, they're going to be in for a very, very tough sledding in this series, but guess what? They made it to this group for a reason, and Kennesaw, even though their records might not look as clean as the side of Penn State, they still coming into this one with a lot of confidence for sure.
Oh, a lot of confidence, and it's a big matchup for them. It's just something to prove. But before we get into that, let's take a look at our home team. Penn State, you're looking at Shades, Epics, It's Johnson, and Taze. The squad, fan favorite squad in the CCL. This veteran school has been around the block, and top 10 now in the power rankings. This team looks like a team who could really solidify themselves inside this Tier 1 for the Southeast Division.
Yeah, precisely. They're looking like a powerhouse, and, this locomotive is not looking to stop anytime soon. And, the thing is with this squad is that they have such high aspirations coming in because they haven't dropped one map since Week 1. They're going to be feeling extremely confident, but what I want is them not to get over their heads, because, we just saw yesterday a squad coming in the same situation, only had dropped one map, flawless in hard points, lost 2 hard points in the same series, because guess what? We're moving on. This is stage 2. All these squads that make it to stage 2 are viable. And Penn State, they're going to be in for a little bit of a challenge, in my opinion, that they're not going to be ready for. It's going to be fun.
It's definitely going to be a lot harder than stage 1. That's what stage 2 is all about, Rome. So I'm excited to see what Penn State will be able to bring. But for today, they have an opponent across the board for them, Kennesaw State University. This team residing of Este, Shank, Snake, Trauma. A lot of players getting put together on this team. And like I said, a lot to prove out of this roster going into stage 2. You barely make it out of the Division 3 inside the Southeast side of things. 9-2. You win that tiebreaker against Georgia Southern University. And now you really need to prove that you can hang.
Yeah, and the big thing that I want to look at right here is this Kennesaw State squad. Their group to get into this was a little bit tougher, in my opinion, than Penn State. So having a little bit harder of a road, maybe they'll be able to come in here. Maybe their record might not truly reflect how good they are compared to this Penn State squad. And, right here, Kennesaw State, they're going to be looking to shock the world, because I think if we have a prediction, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be on Penn State's side. So it's really just going to be about Kennesaw coming out and showing that they belong here in this group.
Yeah, Rome, we're kind of basing everything off of the standings that we see these teams kind of move out into the stage 2 on. We don't really know the overall sum of things inside those matches. We could pick apart like the deep dive into things for these teams, but without actually seeing those individual stats for these teams, we're kind of just looking at the overall picture. 9-2 at Kennesaw State against a flawless Penn State roster. Of course, you're going to look at that and you're going to be like, Penn State should bring this one out. But when you bring up the factor that yesterday we saw this exact same position for another squad, you never know what you're going to get. That's what stage 2 is all about. That's what you get when you're going toe-to-toe with teams of the same caliber of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And right here is where they're going to show and prove. All this practice that Kennesaw State has had, they can look at this and say, okay, we've taken a couple losses in hardpoint. We've taken a few losses in Search and Destroy. So we know where we messed up, and we know how to bounce back and be ready for this stage in stage 2. It could literally be a learning lesson, and that's why I feel like this Kennesaw State squad might be able to catch Penn State off guard. I know that there's a lot of people in the chat that are going to be on Penn State's side, as they are a fan favorite, but hey, if I'm Penn State, I'm just saying watch out, because Kennesaw, they're not going to be playing with you.
You got to watch out for, a lot of Kennesaw's players too, some veterans in CCL its own. Trauma, coming from Concord over to Kennesaw in his own right. He's got something to prove for himself into a new team. But let's take a look at the maps. Let's set the mood for this series, Rome, because when you're looking at it, it's a little bit different than your usual best of 5. You got 2 Gavitus, the hardpoint and the control, 2 Berlins, the search and destroy, and the second hardpoint, and then a Desert Siege search to close this one out if it goes all the way to a map 5. How you feeling about this series?
I mean, I honestly like it. I mean, looking at this, what's the odd man out? It's going to be Bokage, and I mean, I'm fine with that, honestly. We're not going to be going there at all, not for search, not for hardpoint either. And I mean, I like starting things off with Gavutu hardpoint. It's an interesting pick for a first map of a series. And I mean, going to Gavutu as the third map, I feel like teams have really settled in as Gavutu being their pick for that control map. It's been a while since I've casted a Tuscan control, at least in my luck. So not sure if that's the entire gist of it, but I would love to see the percentage over whether Gavutu or Tuscan, which one is currently getting picked more in the CCL.
Yeah, Proper brought up a really good point yesterday for Gavitu in general. It's really one of those situations where you're looking at your flex players to really kind of set the tone, set the rhythm of this, because since Gavitu is a lot bigger, your assault rifles are going to have a lot more of a impact on the game, and you need to see that flex player pull out that extra auto, see if they can just lock things down at angles, and it's about map control in that whole sense, and the ARs are going to have a field day if they get into those power positions. So Gavitu is going to be interesting. I mean, if you're looking at that from Kennesaw State side of things at Rome, it's really one of those situations where, I mean, you're looking at a strong, well put together Penn State roster. You don't want to go toe to toe with them in maps like Bokaj and maps like Tuscan, where it can really get brawly, where the kills are going to have a high impact. Gavitu is going to be a different tone where you can play the fundamentals, play the rotations, set up on those power positions, and let your ARs take over the game.
Oh, precisely. And I mean, that's exactly what we're going to be seeing. And I mean, honestly, I feel like if this squad in Kennesaw is going to be stealing one of these first 2 maps, in my opinion, I think that their best bet is going to actually be in this first hard point. I think they might be able to come out and just catch them off guard, hit them in the mouth early. I mean, this squad in Kennesaw, they're still 9-2 in hard points. So, or excuse me, 13-4, in hard points. That is still a very good record, ladies and gentlemen. That is nothing to push to the side, to shove over. They have seen their mistakes. They've had 4 maps to learn from where they can go back, watch the VOD, and understand where they went wrong. Penn State, on the other side, they can't do that. They can't go back because guess what? It's all good. We won every single one 16-0. So, I mean, really looking at this, I feel like if Kennesaw State is going to be able to come out, get them this early map win in map number 1, I think that that's really going to be their best chance of winning this entire series.
It is, and even if they're pushed the distance, Rome, when you look at the standings for both of these teams, Kennesaw, they have gone the distance a lot more than this Penn State roster. I mean, only losing 1 map, it means you're winning a lot of 3-0s in the sense. You don't normally see the back half of series. So if this gets pushed to the end, you have a lot more experience on that Kennesaw roster going the distance. So maybe if they can ride the wave, if they can make it all that far, you could see an upset today over the number 10 Penn State roster. But Kennesaw State, I mean, it's nothing else to kind of overlook the fact that they need to play some damn good Call of Duty today against a team that is looking like one of the favorites inside of the CCL season. Top 10 in the power rankings. I mean, that's nothing to overlook.
Yeah, precisely. And I mean, right here, this is really going to be one of their first major tests. I mean, stage 2, this is where all the pressure's on the line. You don't want to start taking losses right here, right now. You just cracked the top 10. You don't want to let it slip away. You don't want to let it slip whatsoever. So they're going to be looking to move on because I'm sure that there's going to be a few teams that are ahead of them that are going to be taking some losses this week. And if Penn State can stay flawless in this group specifically, I mean, that's going to be looking very, very good for them.
I couldn't agree more, Rome, but let's dive into this Gavitu hardpoint real quick. Let's talk about what we're going to be looking at from these squads. A lot of times, I hinted at, you're going to see that triple auto setup, especially with that MP40 nerf. I mean, a lot of teammates or a lot of players, even ranked, you don't normally see that MP40 really go away. The nerf really didn't do too much for it, but bringing out that extra auto on the map for something as big as Gavitu, it could be something that really sets the tone for this, as we alluded to when we were breaking things down. What do you want to see off the start from Kennesaw if they're going to kind of start off strong?
I want to see them keep things even on this first hard point. I want to see them come out to a solid lead. I want to see them, catch them off guard. I feel like if they lose this first hard point, I mean, at the end of the day, the rotations might be there to P2, but you want to come out strong. You do not want this Penn State squad to start to get that feeling that they've felt 16 times already, 16-0. I mean, this squad is good at hard point. They are undefeated in it for a reason. They are a fan favorite for a reason. And right now, Kennesaw, they're just going to need to come out extremely strong in this first set of rotations. I think if they have the lead after this first 5 hills or so, I think that they're going to be good to go.
100%. It's really Penn State's side of things, folks. If you're looking at it, I mean, we're just waiting for these players to start up the game, and then we're going to get right into this hard point as soon as possible. When you're looking at Penn State, though, I mean, you know them, Shades, Epics, Johnson, Tased. If you're looking at one player to really make a difference, it's Johnson, usually remaining that auto role inside of the team. It's going to be a big role to play inside of Gavitu, and especially to start off this series. If you can get a hot start with Penn State, if you can get into your rhythm early and really kind of push Kennesaw against the ropes, I mean, it's business as usual for yourself. You're coming into this with a 1 map loss over your whole record. You're coming into this top 10 in the power rankings for CCL. I mean, this is just another day in the life of Penn State right now. They're here to do business, and if you're looking at the Penn State side of things, it's really just getting into your rhythm early, setting up and pushing Kennesaw State against the ropes in this map 1. Make it look convincing, make it look strong, and make it look dominant as always.
Yeah, precisely. And I mean, if they come out here looking dominant against Kennesaw, everyone else in this group needs to be put on notice, needs to be put on watch, because this Penn State squad is going to be noticed as the real deal. There's a lot of people out there that's saying, oh, yeah, they're doing good now in stage 1, but let's see what happens in stage 2 when things really start to heat on up. And I mean, here, going against a squad that snuck their way in, if you will, to this group, I mean, you got to put them down in solid fashion, because if this goes to a map 5 or just something wild happens in this series, if they take a loss, the other teams in this group are going to be looking at Penn State and they're going to be smelling the blood in the water. And I mean, when they play them, they're going to realize they're beatable and they're not this giant that they're appearing to be currently.
While you're taking a look at the series, don't forget to tune in, folks, to the Alpha stream, as well as we have College COD, not just across the Bravo stream, but the Alpha stream over at twitch.tv/College COD. But I think it's about time to get into things here with Penn State versus Kennesaw. Look at Gavitu hardpoint right off the bat. Shanks, first one in. Around the outside, Trauma is going to find Taze. Already a good start. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Seeing who can come out with this early battle, but look at that kill feed right now for Penn State. Johnson's going to find Snake over towards that boat, so if they can clear this off, they are going to have a really good setup for this map.
Yeah, and I like the way that Penn State are trying to get a lot of map control. It's going to be Johnson that's going to be locking down this boat. Early rotations, even though there's still 30 seconds remaining on P1. He wants to get that early control for his squad. There's going to be one player that did sneak on below him. That is going to be Este. Going to be trying to lock this down, but it looks like Este actually going to be the little sneaky beaver in the back of the map for this P2 rotation. But early on, Penn State, guess what? They broke the hill. They got the map control. They got all the rest of the hill time. As we stated, I mean, this squad right here, they're looking extremely clean.
Yeah, but Este sneaks in. He's going to be the first one into the side, as Epic's going to be ready for this one. Does get the good timing, but Este ready for the kill. 3 down for Penn State. Snake, or Taze, trying to break into this point on his own, but right now just moving Kennesaw into a little bit of shambles. Taze finds 6 in a row. He's going to have a strafing run in his back pocket. Breaks into this hill solo, Dolo. And now the setup for Penn State. Full streaks on Taze. They're in these power positions. Kennesaw, they lose this early time inside the hill. They need to break in soon. They can't allow Penn State to get comfortable, and just like that, they find 4 to break back.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hardpoint maps, and I got to be honest, this is the one, in my opinion, where streaks, they are going to be coming into play in a major way more than a lot of other maps, simply because it's just so open. There's so many open hardpoints and things like that, and so many areas where you can really get control. And giving Taze these streaks this early, just on P2 alone, that might really come back to bite this Kennesaw State squad early on.
Well, Kennesaw pick up the scrap time. Penn State, they flipped this map out, so they're going to be the first ones ready for the beach when the kills come through. Was a few to Kennesaw. Still holding strong on this beach. Shade's going to be the first into the initial time for this hill. Nice nade onto Este. Can't find the finishing. It's 3 down in the feed. So Kennesaw, they have to go back to square one with breaking this. But Taze makes the heads up route. Is going to wrap right through the middle. Finds 2 before going down. And that's going to slow down Kennesaw even more. 42 seconds on this hill. And the Owls, they need to wait for their teammates to come off this respawn.
Yeah, I mean, right here, this was just a great rotation and a great hold. Yes, they let Kennesaw get the remaining scrap time after they did break in, but Penn State extremely clean on the rotations right here, right now. And, I mean, Tay's currently sitting at 12-5 for his squad. They're really shutting it down. Everyone else on the side of Penn State is negative, aside from Tays. So, I mean, this is really just the Tays show right now.
It usually is the Tays show for Penn State. 96-49. A great start to this Gavitoon. Tays again, he finds the opening. No information on this player. He's going to find one. Snaps around expecting Shank. 3 in a row to break in again by himself. Ready for the 4th around the corner. Snake's going to hit the grave. He's still got the spawns for Kennesaw, so off those respawns, they're able to take down Tays before he gets any more of his streak going. But here come the rest of these Penn State players. Shaky shots from Shades. Snake's going to get the turnaround. Not able to find this kill. Here comes the push from Penn State. All 4 players are there. It's 3 players down from Kennesaw. Here's the break. It's 4 down again inside this. A clean break out of Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, right now, still going to be the streaks in the back pocket. So right now, it's just going to be a battle. It's pretty much double the points coming in for Penn State right now, as they've crossed that 50, or about to cross that 50 mark, at least. I'm not sure why exactly they're not going to get inside the hill. There we go. Going to be racking up these points now. They had full control of it. Just need a little bit more communication, and they're going to be getting all this scrap time. But it is going to be Kennesaw that are fully locked in for this final hill. Let's see what's going to be happening.
Yeah, they need to turn this into time. And again, Shades finds it. Snake's going to pick out his positioning, down to 4 HP, just trying to stay alive in the back on 6 in a row. Not able to find number 7, so no glide bomb, but it's another strafing run into the pockets of Penn State. Este, top 3rd, finds Johnson. Slowing down these Penn State players. The Owl, they have the setup, they have the time in their hands. Looking to push this one out. Here comes a streak from Penn State. Tays looking for the opening, getting the information for the team, looking for the player in the hill. There he goes. Drops the hammer onto Shank. That's going to open up this hill now for a push at a Penn State. It's a 2 for 2 in the kill feed. Keeping them even inside this hill. Trauma's going to watch that rotation, cut him off, and Kennesaw, they take care of the streak, and they keep the hill.
Yeah, I mean, the map did flip. It is Penn State now that have the spawns, but still, in the hill is going to be Este, trying to hold on for life as long as he possibly can. But finally, for the remainder of the scrap time, it is going to be Penn State locking it down. So now as those rotations go back, you can see they're trying to lock down this P1. Great rotation coming out of Kennesaw as 2 players are going to be trying to lock down this beach area. All 4 now spawned up. Let's go to war.
Let's go to war indeed. Trauma finds Shades on the slide in. First hill's going to open up. Snake around the outside. Pops that nade. Not going to find anything, but ready for the fight around the outside of ring. Johnson's going to go down 3 in a row for Kennesaw. And Snake's in such a good position to find the rest of them while they're trying to rotate into this hill. Epic's down low, is able to find Snake for the trade, but now the information is going to be in their hand. Penn State, they got to go off this respawn to find it one more time. Still have these streaks, but I doubt they're going to look to invest it. The players are going to be here. 3 down again. Shades is going to get into this hill. Spotted out. No call out for that. He's able to find Trauma, but down and dirty. Este's going to find the beatdown. Kennesaw State are climbing back into this roam.
Yeah, precisely. And I mean, right now, I mean, you got a couple of streaks in the back pocket, 1 for Shades and 1 for Tased as well. Wondering if they're going to be bringing those into play. And I would love to actually go to Snake's POV. I did see that he did go on a random 6 spree in this game. So I was wondering if he was able to pick up streaks, at least one of them for sure. And I mean, now with only a 40-point advantage, Penn State going massive is Shank going big right there. And I mean, trying to lock this one down. Finally does get traded out. But early on, it's going to be the rotations in. It's going to be a straight-up war coming in yet again with a current 50-point advantage going the way of Penn State.
Kill from Shank's not going to amount to anything just yet, Rome. But, I mean, making it look fancy when it gets dirty. Yeah. It's Penn State coming out with the kills that they need. Johnson for 2. Este finds the break after that. Trading out, still keeping Penn State off of this hill, which is a big thing. They're not down by too much. It's about a 50-point lead for Penn State at the moment. We're boxing each other out right now, trying to negate this time. Tay's going to go up to the top deck, finds Trauma, and Snake to go down. So that's going to be Penn State finally able to get their toes in for time.
Yeah, and I did some very, very quick caster math, just very, very quick, and it was actually 55 to 54 kills in total. So the fact that Penn State is pretty much tied in the kill department, but they're still up by 70 now, I mean, that just shows that they're playing the map, they're playing the rotations, they're playing as a team all around better, and I mean, that's what you need coming into Stage 2. You need to show that you're clean in rotations, that you're clean and flawless in every aspect of this game, and especially against the Kennesaw squad that squeaked on through. You want to come out dominant in the way they have so far.
The Owls have control of artillery. Penn State, though, they have the favored spawns for this one. These kills, they're There are going to be some highlights to get into this hill. Epix wins the fight onto Aztec. That's going to allow Penn State back into this hill. Taze is on another 5 spree, let me say. He's able to go down before he puts it into anything more than that. But again, Penn State just finding the right kills, Rome. Like you're saying, they might be even in the slaying department, but Penn State just finding the right rotations. And another 3 tell. Make it 4 if you can find Estee around that Johnson. 3 in a row inside that feed, and Penn State are going to push this even closer to a map 1 victory.
Yeah, and it's not going to be enough time on this hill right here to be able to win it outright. So that final rotation, as this is most likely going to end up being the final hill, because, I mean, honestly, Penn State, they broke this hill extremely easily last time. So, I mean, I want to see if they're going to be able to do it again. Kennesaw, they've got the hold on next. It's only 11 seconds remaining. Penn State coming in with the break.
This would be monumental if Kennesaw could pull this one back, but one good break, and that can spell it at the end to this Gavitu hard point. Epix working around the outside. Shades looking for the opening on the front line. Is going to find Estee. That's going to take the player out of the hill, force the Owls to rotate and reinforce this. Estee still spawns back here. Shades tries to get the shots, but he's not able to finish this off. So Owls, a quick little 3 down. They're going to keep themselves in this hill so far.
And I mean, right now, they're still staying in this one, at least for now, as they still have the spawns. All these players are spawning in the back. Shank just spawned up as well, and it looks like Shank is going to be the last one alive for Kennesaw. Will he be able to clutch this one up? Here comes the push.
Push indeed, 4 seconds left. Can anybody touch for the Owls? Epix is taking them down on the front line, and nobody can get back into this hill roam. So Penn State, 250 to 149, making it look pretty easy on Gavitu. I mean, this was a hard point that I was figuring could favor Kennesaw if they played the rotations, but I mean, yeah. Penn State, they look like some bullies tonight.
Yeah, you know, Penn State, I mean, looking flawless for sure right now. I mean, whew. I mean, this squad right here, definitely a problem on the map. I mean, listen, they only outslayed them by 7 kills. I just did some very quick caster math on the entire scoreboard. They outslayed them by 7 kills only and beat them by 100 points. They are playing the map, playing the rotations extremely well. By the way, it's 75 to 68 kills. So, you know, overall, this squad in Penn State looking flawless, looking crispy, and now heading into the Search and Destroy, I'm expecting the same thing.
I mean, it's one of those situations where you just, yeah, Owls, you're finding the kills, but you're not finding the right kills. In fact, you're not locking down those hills. A lot of the time, I was seeing the Owls hit those rotations early, Rome, but they weren't walking away with the time that they needed to bring this one back. So Penn State playing fast, playing it right, and finding the kills to get themselves into the hill. So when you're looking across this whole series, now that you've lost this Gavitu, if you push that Berlin, that's one thing that you need to make adjustments on if you are the Owls looking to go the distance. But map number 1, I mean, Penn State, they come into this with 1 map loss in Search and Destroy. Their hard points look flawless, and they stay flawless.
Yeah, exactly. And with a 100-point lead, I mean, honestly, they're going to be very, very comfortable with that win. They're going to be feeling good. Yes, they're going to be looking back on it and saying we could have fixed some things, could have did some things better, but overall, solid victory coming in for this first map. And honestly, you know, now they're getting warmed up. They're feeling good. Those guns started blazing. And I mean, you said it. It was a close game for a while there. Kennesaw started to come back into it, but at the end of the day, Penn State, they started to let that locomotive roll, and it was all downhill from there for Kennesaw.
Well, let's see if the Owls can bounce back now. We're looking at map number 2 to come up, Berlin Search and Destroy. It's a lot different in pacing. It's a lot different in the way you play the mode. I mean, Search and Destroy, no respawns. You're definitely looking at an opportunity here if you're the Owls to slow down the map. Kind of play your own game now. Force Penn State into an uncomfortable situation and sneak away with a map to even us up heading into that control. Talk to me a little bit about Berlin, Rome. What are we to expect inside this map?
I mean, listen, Berlin, every time that we come here, I pretty much explain it. How I see this map on the offensive side is either you're about that life or you're not as a squad. If you're about that life, your squad's going to be going up into A, winning those gunfights, getting down and dirty. But if you're not about that life, you want to play it safe, you want to try to guarantee the round, you're going to be going over to B, trying to play for a pick, planting it for your spawn, and backing up. You know, you're going to be playing the safe, not sorry game. Yeah. But A, you know, that's where the teams that are really about it, the ones that are confident in themselves, confident that they are just going to be able to steamroll the other squad, they're going to be heading over there. So that's what I love to see about this specific map in Search and Destroy, is how these teams are going to be feeling coming out the gate.
I'm curious if we're going to see a sniper on the map. I'm curious in the way the submachine guns are going to play in this one, because there's so much opportunity in Berlin to get aggressive with a submachine gun, especially if you have a sniper watching over you to allow for that push a little bit safer over towards the B site. On the defensive side, you can find a lot of map control if you have some overwatch from behind you. The submachine guns, they fly, they get into mail, and suddenly you're in a really good position to catch some of the offensive players in, around, and in behind. So I'm curious to see how these teams are going to play up against each other, how they're going to tee up. I know, Penn State, they looked fantastic inside of that hard point, but they weren't outslaying Kennesaw whatsoever. So you know that the potential is there for Kennesaw to pull those first bloods. You know that they're still looking to pull things back, and they're not out of this. I mean, yes, they lost by 100 points, but this is a whole new game mode. This is Search and Destroy, where those first bloods are going to go a long way, especially in a map as big as Berlin.
Yeah, exactly. If they're going to be able to find them right here, right now, I mean, that'll be big. I mean, you got Epics of Penn State in the chat saying, man, I got deleted that last game, man. I got to step things up. So, I mean, he's going to be looking to step things up for his squad. So, I mean, that's never a good thing that you want to hear if you're the side of Kennesaw, is that a player that didn't perform up to his best capabilities is going to be looking to do that in this map number 2. So, I mean, hey, look out if I'm Kennesaw.
Look out indeed. But, I mean, one thing to highlight, if you do get that bomb planted over at B, Rome, I mean, how are you going to retake that? On the defensive side, I mean, you gotta get control of warehouse, and that's one thing that spoils the fun for a lot of squads inside of Call of Duty, instead of Vanguard in general, over to the B side. If you can't get control of warehouse, I mean, that power position for an AR, it's going to be a tough one. But I mean, Penn State, I saw them last week on the same exact map against Shenandoah. It went to around 11, and it went to time. I mean, Shades in a 1v2, he had to lay down and hit the deck just to win it in time. If not, I mean, Penn State easily could have lost this map last week to a team inside Stage 1. So, Kennesaw, I mean, finding Berlin as a map to go to against Penn State, this could very well be where you bounce back. But Johnson on the sniper, looking for first blood. It's not going to show.
Yeah, not going to be pulling the trigger. And very interesting to not even attempt to go for it. Usually you'd see people at least try, but that's going to be a big two-piece. Going to be coming in for Kennesaw to start things off. And, I mean, this is exactly what we were looking for.
2 quick kills. Shades, mailroom. Snake reads it. The pistol out. Finds Shades. 1v4 now for Johnson. Is able to find one on the inside, but that bomb is down, and you got a whole lot more to work with. Maybe quick skill montage, but no, he's going to get caught from behind. KSU answer back in the search with round 1.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what I'm talking about on the offensive side. They're most likely not going to be heading to A round 1 simply because they lost map 1 so convincingly. Let's go to a bread and butter play. Let's get this bomb down and get these early kills, and they locked it down perfectly, executed by this squad in Kennesaw. And now we get to see if Penn State are going to be answering back on this offensive end, if they're going to be deciding to go over to A, or if they're going to be deciding to go play it safe and head over to B.
I'm curious to see, because KSU, they had an interesting setup into the last round. They kind of collapsed inside of mailroom to make sure that no players are really safe and sound inside there. And Snake's looking to do that again, this time on the defensive side of things. While Penn State look to put this bomb down at B, Snake can really be the thorn in their side, as he's actually going to catch this one player tased inside mailroom. That's going to be first blood, and Estate doubles down. Now time to collapse for the rest of them. Nice shot to the Snake. Not going to find Epics, but the information is there for the rest of the Owls to flood on in.
Yeah, both of these players now understanding exactly what they have to do, and one is going to be dropping. Last alive is going to be Epics on the backside. He's going to be dropping, and Kennesaw coming out hot. I mean, you said it. Penn State went to round 11 in order to only have one map loss in Search and Destroy on the season, and I mean, I can see why. Kennesaw is coming out hot right now, looking extremely good.
Well, yeah, even still, like, being the last alive there for Epics, he didn't have a good map number 1. You said it yourself. He was getting deleted. He said it in chat. He was getting deleted. And it's not looking the same here inside of Search and Destroy for the whole team. I mean, 2 quick rounds out of the Owls. It seems like they're very practiced here, and they've read up on the Penn State strategies, and they're going for another B hit this time. Not stacking the mailroom. Or player number 2, Shank, is going to be inside there, but a very patient route right now for Penn State. They're not going to be in a situation really to stop this unless Apex is going to sneak right by. And he is. He's going to find one. Another one's going to be in there. He's not going to expect Snake, so an early trade. Is the bomb going to go down now? No, Penn State, they've made the right rotations.
Ooh, but it is going to be Johnson. He's going to let the bomb go. Oh, no, he didn't actually plant. He waited, and so that's going to send it to a 2v2 situation now with the bomb down. It's pretty much in control of Penn State until that player got taken out. And now Johnson left in a 1v2 on the defensive side. But retaking this is going to be very hard with 40 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they just need to spawn out Johnson, and then 2v1, they can play the trade here. For the slide, Shank spots him. Estee now 1v1. Otto versus Otto. He knows where Johnson is. Gets the early shots down to 6 HP. Johnson trying to stay alive right now. No follow-up nade. But the bomb in a spot where Johnson can play this in an advantage. Gets the shots, but Este's shooting a little bit different right now. Snaps onto Johnson and rips him off the heady.
Yeah, and I mean, what a play right there. Now 3-0 up in dominant fashion. Able to win 2 rounds on the offensive side already for Kennesaw. I mean, that's major. We know how big that can be. And, I mean, right now they are clutching up in a major way, answering back against this Penn State squad. And, I mean, right now, a couple players currently on donuts and Tays and Shades. Let's see if they can pick it up.
Last time it was Snake Rome who got inside of that mail room. Johnson spots 2 over to the A side, so this B hit is definitely going to be a lot more comfortable. Snake through the door. He thought he had the jump onto Taze, but that's going to be first blood to Penn State.
Yeah, precisely, and now this bomb is going to be going down. It's going to be a 3v4 retake at the disadvantage of KSU. Trauma's going to get taken out as well with a beautiful grenade going to be coming out from Shades. Now it's going to be all up to Shank and Estee to make the impossible happen. Now Estee in the 1v3.
Shank thought he was going to get tased back there, but it was a trade from Estee to bring it into 1v3. On a 5 spree, so realistically, I'd like to see Estee play for these kill streaks. Trying to get a strafe run and a glide bomb, because that B hit is definitely going to be a lot more safe and sound with these kill streaks in your back pocket. You got 18 seconds. There's just no time, even if you wanted to go and hit this at all. So this is the smart play to do if you're Estee.
Yeah, just play your life. Understand exactly what situation you're in. You only need 1 more kill to be good to go. And, I mean, right now, that's pretty smart, in my opinion, if you are the side of Kennesaw, because you already have the 3-1 advantage in the map. You don't need to play, play willy-nilly. You don't need to go give them a kill. You don't need to have your streaks end right here. Just get this solid continuance of your streaks good to go for this next round, because, I mean, honestly, they've looked flawless so far on the offensive end. So let's see if they can keep stringing that together right here, right now.
We haven't seen an A hit yet, Rome. You said it yourself. I mean, it's one of those kind of make or break sites. If you're confident, you're going to go.
Here we go.
And here we go, yeah. Heading over to A this time. Owls looking to dance with the devil in the inside of the offices. They're going to be the first ones in there. Shades, are you going to be ready for this one? I mean, they haven't been tested just yet. Estee through the door. Shades finds first blood. Any answer back. Trauma looking to get it, but Shades finds 2 in the inside. That's going to be bombed down. And nobody in a situation right now for the Owls to pull this back. Shank is going to be able to find Shades, but the damage has been done. And Penn State have already made the rotations around.
Yeah, and now, I mean, it's going to be a tough situation for Snake currently in the 1v2. He spots out 1 player, but I mean, right now, that was just a great read by Penn State to be able to answer back. I mean, it was a beautiful hold coming in originally by Shades to be able to pick up a couple. And, I mean, just a beautiful start, a beautiful hold on the defensive side. Oh, that would have been absolutely crazy. But it is going to be Penn State picking up the round, bringing this 1 round closer to a tie game. It seems like the tides are starting to turn a little bit.
I mean, Penn State, it seems like they're getting a little bit more comfortable inside the map or as well. Because those early rounds, the timing was really catching them off in the way that the Owls were playing. And the fact that Penn State are playing it a lot slower now, trying to catch off these really fast SMG plays out of Kennesaw, you can start to see the first blood start moving the way of Penn State, and they're just expanding off of that.
Yeah, precisely. Early nade going to be coming out of Snake. This might actually line up right. No. Oh, it just got a hit marker instead. That player decided to turn at the right time. Taze going to be coming in, getting the big first blood, and that is going to be massive for this Penn State squad.
Shane trying to stay alive, but that's 3 times in a row that Snake's made that same move, and it's only paid off once. I would like to see him do something different in the end. Este's going to fall as well now. 4v2. Trauma, nice shots down range to keep this a little bit even. So 1 player deficit, and Taze with the MP40 is going to snap onto him. So that's going to be Shank now in a 1v3, and he's going to be caught with eyes on, moving outside of mailroom, and that's going to even us up now. 3 rounds in a row for Penn State.
Yeah, this is starting to look like Penn State got a little bit of a Rocky mentality going on. They just got to get hit in the mouth before they start, coming online as a unit, as a squad. I mean, 0-3 to start, and then now 3-3. We're tied up. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This squad, as they get more comfortable, it's going to be a problem on the map. And now KSU, I mean, you just got confident in last time on offense. You went to A, you got shut down. Now I'm guessing that they're going to be heading back over to B, but, I mean, that's what I would be thinking if I was Penn State. So maybe they're going to try to trick them a little bit by coming right back over to this A-bomb site.
Oh, Shade's playing around the outside. Looks like he wants to get a little bit aggressive, but he's going to get checked. Essay, very heads-up read. It's going to be first blood. He's going to be going down. Taze still around the outside, still keeping up some pressure here from Penn State. The bomb hasn't been planted yet. Taze gets spotted. He's going to be dropped down a little bit more. He's going to have to exit, so this is going to be bombed down.
And that's going to be massive if they can get this for this angle, and they are able to. Taze winning a big 1v1 on Snake down low to equalize it and make it a 3v3 situation in the 3-3 round count. Strama right now just trying to hold off this player down low, but that's going to be Taze and Epic's picking up two, and that's going to be the third drop in as well. Trauma now left by his lonely in the 1v3, and I mean, he's going to get taken out as well. Penn State able to absolutely swallow this KSU squad alive, and I mean, my goodness, what a great play coming out of them on this defensive side.
Taze has come alive, Rome. I mean, that is 3 rounds in a row now that he's found the one-on-one against Snake, while Snake's holding the better angle. So I guess he's just got the foresight. He's just got the reads. He knows where Snake's going to be playing, and he's just getting the better of him. He's living rent-free in his head right now. And 4 rounds in a row nailed off by Penn State. You got 3 players on a streak, and they haven't died in what seems like forever. I mean, the Owls, they need a big round now to answer this back. Trauma's 1-7. He hasn't been having a good map, even though they did find those early 3 rounds. They need to turn this around soon, or else Penn State are just going to get into the flow state.
Yeah, big time. And, I mean, you said it. Johnson and Epics both are going to be sitting on 3. So if they can look to keep things going, they're going to be in very good position. And that is going to be Johnson picking up another one. Taze going to be on 4 of his own. Epics on 3. I mean, it's almost full streaks going to be coming out of this Penn State squad.
Taze falls out the window. He's gonna find Shank. So even Steven 2v2. And look at this run. Look at this read out of Penn State. They're flooding right into P3. Taze has an idea that Trauma's gonna be back here. Spots him out, in fact. But that's gonna be information now to the rest of the Owls. Shots gonna be ringing out. Snake's in behind. Oh, Snake's on the flank. Getting to this into anything. Catches Taze looking the wrong way. Ops right back in the window. 1v2. Epic's last alive. Has the SMG, has the bomb, but both players on either side. And it looks like Trauma just spotted him out. So Epic's really, what can you do in this position? Not a whole lot. Kennesaw State answer back, and we go back to even.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4-4, but I'm very confused about something, actually. Johnson got team killed, and he still has streaks. So if you get team killed, your streaks don't go away?
No, his streak should be away. It might just be an observer.
It didn't go to the, if it's just an observer thing, that'd be it. He's still on 4. I want to see a visual of it, because if he still has, that would be very interesting if team kills don't injure streaks, because that would be something I'd never noticed, because it doesn't really happen that often. So I don't know. Who knows? Because he definitely got team killed that round, so that's why it's very interesting.
It is going to be a visual glitch, though, observer.
All right.
Let us know. First blood, Epics this time. Numbers in the hand of Penn State. Bombed down inside the B side, and they know where Snake is as well. You see all 4 players from Penn State are here. They're going to find Snake underneath that tank. Johnson to deliver. That's going to force Shade now to make this overextension play. But take a look at the player in the back from Penn State. Shade's playing it so patiently. It's flawless so far from Penn State. Now, Este in a 1v4. They know exactly where he is, and there's just no avenue to go right now. Nowhere is safe for Este. It's going to have to be something magnificent if you're going to take this one away. He's able to find Shade, so maybe a 1v3.
Yeah.
39 seconds, though. This would be a reach.
Yeah, and I understand that from Shades, but, like, come on. Let's not throw our lives away. Let's just go back, play the bomb, play it safely, and that's what all the 3 of these players at Penn State are going to do. They're not going to be playing sorry. They're not just going to go around hunting, trying to pad their stats. No, let's just calm up, just get together, and we're good to go. 15 seconds. This one's going to be locked down 5-4 in favor of Penn State. At least it looks that way for now, but Este was able to get 1, so they're just going to be hiding as he's not going to be able to plant the bomb.
There's just no time to make this happen. I mean, Este, it's valiant effort, in fact, but as he's going to fall, that's going to bring Penn State, like you said, to 5 rounds. Map point for Penn State, looking to go up 2-0 in the series. It's going to have to be 2 rounds in a row If the Owls want to even us up at 1 apiece, we're heading back to, looks like the Owls on defense. So now on defense, I mean, how are you going to answer back? Penn State just kind of pumped the brakes and shut you down at B. What are you going to do to them?
I mean, precisely. I mean, looking at this one right here, right now, what I'm really looking at is this squad in Penn State heading on this offensive side. It's going to be a B hit, and I like this. It's a bread and butter play, but they are going to be met with a couple players that are going to be locking this one down in the backside. It's going to be Snake, but he does get one. Is Snake going to get traded out? Yes, unfortunate, as he did move the wrong way.
You got to stay alive there. I mean, I don't see any reason why you're stunned up and you want to fly.
Yeah.
And it's going to pay in dividends now. 3-on-3. Bomb down inside that B site. Not a whole lot of control here. State's forced to get into the position where Snake was, down into the docks. Bomb gets recovered. Penn State's still looking to put down this bomb at B. Ooh, this nice nade. Should be catch this. Whoa, no, the barrels, State. Blown up by the explosive barrels. That's going to cost you now. Johnson's going to find Shank, and Trauma lasts alive in a 1v3.
Oh.
Not a whole lot going your way this round if you're Kennesaw State. And Penn State 1 kill away from going up 2-0 in this series. The things you hate to see, Rome.
So what happened was he threw the grenade inside. It blew up a barrel on the other side, which chain reacted the barrel to next to him. I mean... that's just unfortunate at the end of the day. I mean, but it is going to be Penn State that are going to be able to take advantage of the situation. And, I mean, they're going to be winning this round, winning this map, going up 2-0 in the series. That is just unfortunate for Estee, to say the least. I mean, this game could have went totally different. This round would have been completely different if Estee would have stayed alive right there. That is just unfortunate for Kennesaw. But, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, Penn State doing what they need to, securing the round.
As the kids say these days, Rome, we take those. If you're Penn State, at least. Not if you're Kennesaw in that situation.
Yeah.
It's just things you hate to see. I mean, you can go on and on about environmental explosions inside of a competitive game and how you're going to see that really affect things. But for Estee, I mean, it's going to affect him a whole lot inside that one. They had a great start to Berlin. 3 rounds in a row. But as soon as Penn State heat up, this team just looks like the next level to kind of look at for this whole squad. I mean, as soon as Tased started catching those first bloods onto Snake over and over and over again, you started to see the downfall of that early success that we saw out of Kennesaw.
Oh, precisely. I mean, honestly, you know, looking as a whole at this, I mean, you look at the side of Kennesaw, they had more first bloods as well. I mean, first bloods was 8-7. So, but yet they still didn't come out on top. Penn State, it was the coordination, the teamwork, the trading. That's really the difference maker in this one. And I mean, honestly, team kills, self nades, whatever it was at the end of the day to make that barrel blow up. I mean, that's just going to be extremely unfortunate. And I mean, hey, I mean, this is going to be blown up in Kennesaw's face unless they can win a control against this Penn State squad that haven't dropped one control all season long.
Now we're going to stay flawless as we go into stage 2 for Penn State. Yeah, I mean, they looked good inside their own division, inside stage 1, and now they're looking to look the same here into stage 2. A great start so far off of Kennesaw. That Berlin was a great climb back to kind of assert your own dominance inside of the map. But Gavitu Control, as Rome said, coming up next. We're going to head to a break, and we'll get right back into things when we come back. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to the Bravo stream. Once again, my name is Seymour. Alongside me, Rome. We're here with Penn State versus Kennesaw State. Number 10, Penn State looking good so far in stage 2, Rome. 2-0 up after a very dominant comeback inside Berlin. Now you're headed to Gavitu Control, and things are just looking your way so far.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm looking at right here, I mean, honestly, Kennesaw, they showed in both of these first 2 maps that they have a lot of fight in them. I mean, halfway through into this map number 1 of Hardpoint, I mean, it was like 140 to 120. I mean, Kennesaw, they were hanging in there on Gavutu. And, I mean, honestly, heading to Berlin, that 3-0 start, it was looking very good for Kennesaw yet again. But then a 6-1 reverse sweep in fashion of Penn State, you know, to take that map as well in 6-4. And now, heading to this one, I mean, I would have high hopes for Kennesaw, but I mean, honestly, Penn State have just been showing that even when they get down, they can clutch up. They've got the ice, and I mean, they're ready to go.
I mean, this has been a squad who have been ironed through the fire of Bocage, it looks like. And they look like they have the trust and the mental capacity to come back from anything so far. I mean, that Berlin definitely looked a little bit shaky at the start, but they doubled down. They ironed things out. They made the necessary adjustments. And there's nothing in my mind so far that's telling me that they're not going to keep this up going into Gavitu Control. If you're looking at Kennesaw State, I mean, this is a map where you really need to dig deep. You need to show what you're bringing into Stage 2 to this Tier 1 division. You snuck into it in that third place spot of your division, tying Georgia Southern to kind of knock them out of this position. And now you're going up against one of the top teams again, and you're falling short. You got close in the search and destroy, but now you're looking to be forced on a reverse sweep to start your stage off. I mean, it's not a position you want to be in, but now it's what we need to see, the resilience out of the Owls.
Yeah, I mean, right here out of the Owls, what I'm going to be really looking for is just a little bit of a fight back. I want to see them at least try to get 1 or 2 maps under their belts right here. I mean, that would be massive for not just their mentality, but I mean, also for them in the final standings, because I mean, the map counts, that might come into play as well. We know how crazy tiebreakers can end up. You want to win every single map, every single game possible. And I mean, right here in Stage 2, Kennesaw going to need to come out hot in this one right here. And I will say, in my opinion, if Kennesaw, if they are on offense to start things out, I think this is going to be a 3-0.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's not an easy map to attack whatsoever. I can counterpoint that, too, because lately, in the past couple weeks of Vanguard, I mean, offensive attacks haven't looked too bad. And if the Owls can keep up with their slaying like they did inside of that first map, I mean, they might be able to sneak away with one, but they're going to be starting off on defense, so they don't have to worry about that so far. They are going to be on the more preferred side, and as an A hit is going to ensue out of Penn State, Este finds first blood. The rest of the Owls looking to shut things down early. Nade in hand. Shade's going to find him. Este's going to go down, make it 3 down, and that's the opening to hop in the A zone.
Yeah, and the great thing about being on the defensive side is that, you know, you get the prime side, obviously, but guess what? Penn State, they're flipping that on their head. If they're able to get this progression, and yes, it looks like that first tick is going to be coming through. I mean, Penn State can really come in. If they can get this A in the first 30 seconds or so, I mean, that's going to be huge for them, and that's really going to put KSU on the back burner, because I'm pretty sure that if it comes down to about 2 minutes remaining over there to get that B point, I mean, I'm pretty sure this squad in Penn State are going to eventually be able to make it, figure out how to make it happen.
Well, Tay's looking to go solo dolo in the A side. Finally has a little bit of help, looking to kind of weed out this last player. Shank catches him from behind, hops right back into this A zone, and starting to collect his progression once more. And Kennesaw State off this respawn. They're looking at player number 8, Trauma, to start this flank and ensuing. He's a little bit slow to the draw. 2 kills go their way. Here comes the collapse. Shades around this middle tank. Snake's going to find Taze. So far, so good. Out of the Owls. Trauma doesn't have to do too much. They clear out the A zone. They're going to start neutralizing it as well. And this is a chance now for Trauma to set up and start spawn killing.
Yeah, precisely. There is going to be a lot of players over there for the side of Penn State, as Shank does pick up 2. Este drops to Shades, and I mean, now this Penn State squad, will they be able to break in? It's at that 30-second mark that I said. If Penn State, if they can do it right here, right now, I mean, they're going to be looking pretty good. Let's see if Kennesaw can hold them down. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as player number 5 in Snake, he's going to be the last one near it. He's not going to be good to go, and that means 90 seconds left to secure B for Penn State. I mean, how are you feeling right now? Do you think Kennesaw, do you think they're playing well so far?
I mean, the B side, a lot harder to hold, but you just need to start to see a little bit of patience out of the squad as they're getting aggressive. Once again, Este is going to find one on the escape, though, gets caught by Taze. So, trading back and forth, it's not going to be your way into taking the rest of this round. You're down by 5 lives. Taze now an opening to get in the back. Este shuts him down. So, a strong kill right there, but now Kennesaw kind of stuck and trapped back here. There's a chance for Penn State to start checking off the list of ways to get into this B side and start working in from behind.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, this has really been the only way that I've seen offenses be able to really break into this B side, unless they're just straight up way better than the other team and just able to, you know, just bully them head on. It's really been about pushing back behind the enemy lines, as Johnson's doing right now, to try and make something happen, you know, get a nice 2-piece here over near the beach side to be able to, you know, give their team the advantage. And I mean, right now it's being shut down by Kennesaw, and now with 25 seconds remaining, 0 ticks of progression come through so far. Kennesaw looking very, very good on this defensive side.
Yeah, they've flipped the script now, in control of the map. One last attack from Penn State should be what we're looking at, with player number 4 heading this one into the back line. Going to shake up some of these, draw some players in the vine. Snake's going to find Epics. Taze goes down on the front line, so far, so good from Kennesaw State. They allow that A site to be captured, but when it comes to B, they lock things down, and they still walk away with the first round.
Yeah, and I mean, great stuff coming out of them right now, but this is the thing. They've been ahead before. We saw them have that 3-0 advantage in the search and destroy, and then this Penn State squad, they just answered right on back in incredible fashion. So who knows, was this the early punch in the mouth that Penn State needed? We just get to find out right here. I mean, now with Penn State now on the defensive side, we get to see how dominant they're going to be compared to KSU. You know, KSU let it go to that B. I want to see if Penn State is going to be giving up either one of these points.
Rip Johnson, nice shots on the trauma. Snake's going to find Taze, but Epics is going to fall to what looked like another environmental explosion. A little bit taste of your own medicine, Epics. You know, it saved you in Berlin, but it's not going to save you here in Gavatu. So Owls are going to be able to hop on this A zone, start collecting some progress, as they're also putting up some kills as well. It's 4 kills their way. Epics looking to make a hit, but this A site, it's being stacked right now, and Owls, they are getting it done very fast.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, Penn State starting to be on the back burner as all these ticks of progression coming through, and that's going to be a full capture already at A coming in for Kennesaw. And now, I mean, they're up by 5 kills. They've got 2 minutes and 10 seconds to work this B site. And I mean, honestly, I feel like they are going to be able to get back behind enemy lines within time. I mean, now it's all up to Penn State. How good are you? How built for the long run is this squad?
We just saw the Owls do it in Penn State. They are a squad that's looking to do it too. In the back, still Epics residing inside of that boat, so he's going to be able to find Snake, and now it's going to allow the rest of Penn State to really push up and find their extra little bit of map control outside on that beach. But look at these white arrows from the Owls. They're just kind of taking control of the boat, seeing if they can get in behind and really flip out this Penn State roster, which I am a big fan of. You know, oftentimes this is the success story in taking this B side. If you can't pull yourself out from the front, take them out from their own spawn. So this attack, going to get going. But into it, they're taking a long time to make this happen, Rome.
Yeah, I mean, for sure right now, things are definitely getting hairy. And, you know, honestly, when I'm looking at this situation right here, ooh, that's going to be a big four Penn State, actually. I want to bring that up because they just evened up the kills, and now they're actually ahead in kills by 2 as that kill feed went all blue for about 8 kills now in a row. Make it 9 as they are looking crispy. Everyone on streaks on the side of Penn State right now.
Caught in the Penn State bear trap, and once it springs, you wish it never happened. Troubles now for Kennesaw State as they are really trapped in their spawn. Shades, Epics working that front line, every avenue cut down, but big kill out of trauma. You don't allow Shades to get those streaks. He was on 5 in a row, so you shut him down before the strafing run comes out. 25 seconds in.
If you look at the mini-map, you would literally think that this is like a game of search and destroy or something, or there's one little objective in the middle of all these players. Look at all the arrows just spread out. And this squad in Kennesaw does not want to move whatsoever. The reason why, they don't want to give up any streaks. And that's the smart play. They got Johnson and Epics right now for Penn State that are currently having 3. They don't want to give up any more. I mean, that is smart out of Kennesaw when you realize you're not going to be able to capture B.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, the lives factor as well are very close on both teams after 2 rounds. So you give this one up, but Kennesaw, a big call right there. Focusing on the late game of this. Oftentimes, Rome, Gavatu, it's going to go to that round 5. So you want to make sure you are winning in the slaying category to make sure that you get that last defensive round. Because if you don't, I mean, we just saw 2 rounds in a row and how hard that attack is.
Oh, yeah, big time. And, I mean, there was a clear difference in both of those defensive rounds. I mean, you look at Kennesaw, how they held it down on defense against the side of Penn State. Honestly, Penn State, way more dominant, let's be honest. Even though they gave up A rather quickly, the way that they got the map control after that and didn't let them even sniff B was just absolutely impeccable coming out of this Penn State squad.
Well, let's see if they can turn this around for their own offense here. On board with Taze for this attack. Find Snake, so 2 down towards the boat. Still 1 player to deal with on Kennesaw before you get onto things. And Shank's going to find a kill into Epic, so that's going to slow down Penn State even more for this hit over there. The respawns from Kennesaw now. Looking to reinforce on Shanks. Taze Sitting bottom cliff, doesn't get the shots out there, gives up his position, but still finds the kill into Este, so that's going to draw these reinforcements back. Clean up this player, a team kill onto Snake, but still getting this done.
Yeah, and I mean, Shank right now currently on a 5 spree. Let's see if he can find this glide bomb to add it to his repertoire right now. Would be massive for this KSU squad. And I mean, now 25 seconds remaining. 0 ticks of progression have come through so far. This is looking very, very interesting. I mean, honestly, very good for this squad right now. There is going to be a couple of players on each hill. Is Kennesaw really going to be letting B go? Oh, man, this would be absolutely tragic.
Drama comes back into things, deals with the pressure at B. 16 seconds for Penn State to make one final push towards this side, as Kennesaw has totally shut them down inside this round number 3. And again, they're just pushing this line of scrimmage ever so farther. Penn State, nobody in a position to touch this site. So with the time going down, Kennesaw, a big round number 3 to bring back this lead.
Yeah, whew. I mean, right now, Kennesaw, I was talking about it. I said that their defense was not anywhere near as dominant as the side of Penn State. They said, you know what, Rome? You know what? Take that thought and put it somewhere else, because guess what? We're going to come out with the biggest defensive round that we've seen so far in this game. Kennesaw shocked me right there. I mean, Penn State, not even 1 tick of progression on either side. I mean, that's just so unfortunate.
We'll flip the roles once more before we head into this last round, Rome. A site totally unoccupied from Penn State, but a barrel blows out Epics, and a barrel blows up Shanks as well. Este, off of that misplay, is still going to find an opportunity to get in behind. Tick not picked up at A, so while this is happening, not a whole lot of objective taken down from Kennesaw. But good positioning in turn. Taze inside the boat, looking to get around, lines up too, able to take them down, hops down into the boat, but another barrel! Where are these barrels coming from, Rome?
I don't know, but at the end of the day, you have it to. He's got a whole lot of them. I think we know that. So you got to look out for him for sure. And as we're currently having Penn State with a slight kill advantage by 2. I mean, right now, you can see the mini-map. They're spreading out. They're trying to put them in this same pinch. And are they... Is Kennesaw playing for overtime right now?
Well, 30 seconds. Just hoping Este makes a play enough for you to guys make an overextension over to B.
Oh,
Shades
there it is.
lets his position be known. Finds Trauma. Shanks sneaks across. They get control of artillery, but now you can see these arrows from Penn State looking to siege them out and looking to pinch this one. 21 seconds is where the time is going to be stopped. Shanks going to win the fight in artillery. Can't snap back to take down Taze, so back to the respawns we go for Kennesaw State. As it's 20-15 in the lives for this round. Shades looking to push this even farther, but nobody in a position to touch one of these sites. Is a last chance for Kennesaw to hit this A site, Roman. It looks like they're going to try one more time. Shank's going to get it in. Still the time stop, 3.7 seconds. Epic's able to find Shank, but knows there's a little bit more to do. Wraps around through the middle. Spot Snake, takes him down. Time's going to be burning, and we're headed to round 5.
Yeah, here we go. This is going to be a good one. I didn't do the caster math on this one, so it's going to be a surprise to us all. Let's see how it's going to be going down, because, I mean, honestly, whoever has defense, I feel like they're most likely going to be taking this just because of how dominant the defenses have truly been in this map so far. I mean, we've seen just 4 absolutely dominant sides of defense. The offense hasn't really ever had a chance. I think we've only seen A captured 1 time, and unfortunate for KSU, Penn State, they won the lottery.
Shades has full streaks, too.
Oh.
That's going to make this even harder if you want to go to B. And it looks like right off the rip, Kennesaw, they want to take a shot at this B side. Snake's going to find Taze with an 8 in his hands. But Shades now set up to pick off a few. Only good for 1. Penn State looking to resurge off of this one. Time's going to be stopped at 1:14. Epic's not ready for the players sneaking around the corner. And Snake hiding away. The patience is going to pay off. Working on this first tick. The slow burn. Add a Taze to get in here. Progression at B, but again, 4 down for Penn State. And this is the best chance we've seen for the B side to get captured.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the kills heading toward the side of Kennesaw. Este currently on a 4 spree as well. And is this going to be a full B captures? There's a couple of players laying down in that tank. They're going to be good to go. Locking this one up, I believe. No. Oh, my goodness. Did this player Epix just go massive for a squad? He did, and now it's going to be a 1v1 Snake versus Epix. Who's going to go clutch? It's going to be Epix, ladies and gentlemen, as he's locking this one down, saying, no, you're not going to get this. You better figure out a different plan of attack. You only got 2 progressions in, and now KSU, they've got to figure out how to get A.
All this is happening at B. They make their way over to the A side off the respawn. Johnson's going to find a pick up top, allows him to get into the boat, finds the teammate in Este. But here comes the fight back from KSU, 23-17 for the Lives. They're back into this A side as well. But look at this position from Epix. He's on 5 in a row, looking for those those kill streaks. Shades is going to be able to take down Snake from the middle of the map. You still got a contention in here from KSU for the A side, but they're going to go down again, and that's going to be KSU now. Their hit to B, it didn't work. The hit to A, it didn't work. They have a life advantage, but now they have to fight out of their spawn.
Precisely. I mean, this is going to be a very, very tough situation. I mean, we've seen them in this bottleneck before. It didn't work out well for the side of Kennesaw, and you can see the kill feed, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be all blue. It's going to be all Penn State for now. Trauma gets taken out as well. 30 seconds remaining for this push going to be coming in, but it looks like A is going to be the point of choice going to be coming in for these squads. I mean, 25 seconds remaining. It's going to be now or never.
Oh, Shades gets the nade on Shakes. He finds Snake as well. It's 3 down again. Este, the closest player ever, and it's going to be Johnson to spawn him out. You get a team kill out of Snake, but still 2 kills to follow up that one. Trauma, a third, 12 seconds. Johnson's in a position where he can really shut this one down, just laying prone. Waiting for these players to come in, but Este finds him from behind. Tay's down to 30 HP. He's going to drop as well. 6.2 seconds, 10 lives to 9. They're looking to get this A zone under control, and with these kills coming through, that should be the A zone gone.
They did it. I mean, they slayed out long enough. Now they just got to lock this one down. You can see the rotations coming in from Penn State. They said, whatever. Have it. We'll take you to another 60 seconds. We're going to go lock down B. Yes, you've already got 2 ticks of progression on it, but we don't think you can even sniff it. They've done this before. They've locked them out for 2 minutes straight without letting them even touch this B point. So listen, I think that they're in perfect position to do it again. That we also have the streaks in the back pocket as well, and I don't think those got called in yet, did they?
Now, Rome, I mean, one thing you got to look at, even if you have the shrieks, is lives.
Yeah.
6 lives remaining for Penn State. I mean, this has to be perfect. You don't have any lives to really throw away. Trauma's going to drop him down to 5. You got a big fight inside the artillery gun. It's 3 down again. No more respawns for Penn State. Kennesaw surging into the B zone for this last tick. Shades is going to cut off the rotation from Este, but he's going to drop as well. 2 players remaining. 30 seconds, plenty of time for the Owls to find map number 3 and keep this series going. Shank's going to take down Tay, so Epic's last alive, and as he's going to get spot out, he's going to go 6 feet under, and Kennesaw State University are going to push us to a map 4.
Oh, man, on the offensive side, Kennesaw hands Penn State their first control loss of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm talking about. This stage 2 is going to be giving us some great games. Shout out to Kennesaw, coming up big, coming up massive, if you will, in that tied situation. I mean, I don't even know. Just props to this squad at the end of the day.
I mean, what a change up into that 3rd round. You've been going A off of the rip again and again if you're both Penn State and KSU. And then right away into this round number 5, KSU, they're like, hey, let's go to B. Let's change this up. They do perfect. They find every single kill that they need. They get 2 ticks. They send Penn State absolutely in shambles.
Yeah.
And they don't even get a time to use those streaks, Rome. They don't give a time to get a time to use those kill streaks. The A zone, it was a fight. It was a battle to the end, but 6.2 seconds remaining. They get the A zone under control, and after all of that fighting, they still had the life advantage. So they really just needed one more push, and they get it done at B. And they push us the distance now in the series. It's just crazy, and you're looking at players to make it happen. I mean, Snake, 31 and 25. 26 untraded kills. He was the make or break inside the search and destroy. You know, as soon as he started dropping those first bloods, you started to see the downfall of KSU inside of Berlin, and then you come back into that control and you make it happen again. You just look so good on that SMG. Snake is having a great series.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, this squad right here, right now, I mean, they've lit the fire under themselves in that one. They're going to be feeling all the momentum for sure, feeling great. I know the comms are going to be great. They're going to be saying, let's go. We gave them their first loss. Let's go ahead and take them to this hard point right here, right now. I mean, they're trying to see a Desert Siege map 5. If we get to see these squads go to Desert Siege, let's be honest, anything can happen. I don't know what Penn State's record is in Desert Siege, but my guess is they have not played much of Desert Siege, as it is not typically a highly picked map currently. So, I mean, honestly, anything can happen if we do make it to that 5th map. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one we're going to be seeing, though, which is going to be this map number 4. We're heading back to Berlin.
Headed back to Berlin, and one thing that I highlighted after that Gavitu hardpoint that we saw is I'm going to need to see some crucial changes out of the Owls inside this map 4 if they want to get to that Desert Siege roam. They were finding the rotations. They were getting the early kills to lock it down, but Penn State, they were bullying inside that map number 1, and they were finding the right kills to take them out, to not allow Kennesaw State to get any progression from those hard points. So if you're looking at something to change to the Owls to get to that map number 5, it needs to be objective efficiency. You need to find those rotations early, and you need to make it matter, and that's going to be setting up on those power positions and finding the necessary kills to lock it down.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's going to be a good one for sure, man. I cannot wait for this. We get to see all the rotations coming in. Honestly, I've seen probably the craziest matches so far on Berlin Hardpoints. And of all the casting that I've done, I don't know why. Berlin Hardpoints, they always give me some super, super good matches to watch. So, I mean, honestly, I'm going to be excited because these two squads, they've shown that they can be very even. Yes, even in the last hardpoint, it was pretty close halfway through it, 140 to 120 or so. But after that, it was all Penn State, finishing it with a 100-point victory, 250 to 149. I mean, they looked absolutely incredible in the back half of that hard point. Will that carry over right here, right now? We got to find out, because Kennesaw's guns are looking pretty hot. I'm not going to lie, Seymour.
Yeah, the slang hasn't been a problem out of these teams, Rome. Both teams very even in that. It's just when you're kind of evaluating what the slang turns into, is Penn State has been able to turn it into the objective time a whole lot more than Kennesaw has. And I mean, a few things to note as well. Epix wasn't having a good game inside that map 1, Rome. He said it himself. He was getting fried inside Gavitu. They still managed to win by 100 points. So if Epix has gotten warm, if he's made those adjustments going into this map number 4, he's going to be online. I mean, this is going to be a different team inside Hardpoint. And if all 4 players are playing that good, I'd be scared for the Owls.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, right here, this Penn State squad just lost their 2nd map of the season. They haven't lost a map since week 1. That is going to sting, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what you say, because guess what? You've had a whole month going out to eat with your friends, going out to eat with your teammates, saying, yeah, we haven't dropped a map in weeks. Ah, man, feeling good, feeling great. Well, can't say that anymore, because guess what? Stage 2 started, and Kennesaw, guess what? They came out, and they've let you know that this is a different ballpark right here.
Let's kick this into gear with map number 4. Office is going to be on the menu. Taste finds the NATO Neste. So first blood the way of Penn State. And they push it a little bit farther. 3 go down. Now Snake, the last one alive. And Johnson's going to have his number. So Penn State, they find the 4 down. 20 unanswered points early into this game. And they have it on lock right now. Not an avenue for KSU to break on in. And they need to get brawling. And when they do, things get mixy and they start dropping.
Yeah, and unfortunately, only 2 kills so far to come through for this KSU squad, as it's a complete shutdown by Penn State. I mean, they've got control of this hill and haven't let it go whatsoever. They're going to be getting all the scrap time as well, as nobody's going to be challenging it. Now it's going to be battle for the mailroom, but it is going to be Penn State, KSU and Shank and Este that are going to be locking this one down, but it is going to be Taze coming through the doors trying to make a play happen.
Shane's going to find Shades. Hops into the mailroom, starts collecting time. Still some presence at Penn State, so not going to allow it to happen for free. It's going to be a war inside of this hill, and if you're KSU, you need to start getting some kills here, because Penn State are absolutely frying into the start of this series, or into the start of this map number 4. Still 35 seconds to play for, and you look at where Kennesaw State are spawning, all the way back inside that train yard. They're going to have to transfer all the way through this and break on in through the windows, but as they do, Taze has Este's number. He's going to take him down. Another 3 down for KSU, and a phenomenal start at Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, and right now, KSU, they understand. I mean, they spawned up at the lobby. They're going to say, you know what, let's go ahead and lock this one down. We're not worried about the scrap time. Let them have it. But, I mean, that scrap time starts to add up very, very quickly. Let me say that, ladies and gentlemen. And now 85-5, an 80-point lead through 2 hills. This is flawless out of Penn State currently.
Este finds his first kill of the game inside Burning, but is the majority of Penn State players to surround him, take him down in turn. And he's going to spawn so far out, so numbers to Penn State. And for this break, last player alive is going to be Trauma in here. Gets overwhelmed. Epix is going to put the nail in the coffin for this break. And it just seems absolutely on another level right now for Penn State's hardpoint. As they are out-slaying, they're out-rotating, and they're bullying once more. Here comes the replay for KSU. Can they make it happen? It's a 4v2 on the inside. They have the pinch necessary. Taze not able to find that kill. So KSU get right back into it.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, player 8, Epix, just spawned up. I believe he's going to be go ahead and saying, you know what, let's just lock down these trains. But you know what, as I say that, Epix looks like he's going to be making a little bit of a... No, he's going to turn around. I was about to say, I was looking at his arrow. I was like, are you really going to go challenge that? No. He's going to turn around, go lock down this train yard. And as you can see, all those players of KSU are going to be spawning way, way out. So, I mean, honestly, this could turn into a Money Hill situation for Penn State.
Epix in a spot to cut off these rotations, but... see if he can find anybody. Shanks gets deleted in the windows. And Epix is going to totally dip on out, get some good timing versus Este. Yes, Este found one, but not going to turn into anything after that. Again, Penn State have those better spawns. They're going to be able to reinforcements right away, but KSU actually, they don't get too shabby spawns either. They're going to be flooding on in through this train station, able to find 3 in a row now. Taze is going to be the last one alive on the inside of this. Looking to finesse his life, hops on out of the hill, and Shanks going to hunt him down. So KSU, they break in. They negate Penn State of any more time so far, but you still got 25 seconds to fight for, Roman. This is anyone's game.
Yeah, and it looks like the spawns are still going to be in favor of Penn State. They're spawning at the back of the train yard, so it's just going to be all about how they slay out from here and flood out, and that's going to be Taze and Epix picking up 2. Now they should be good to go to get this scrap time, but it's going to be Este trying to make the plays happen for this KSU squad. I mean, heading to P5 right here, right now. Penn State, they had an extremely dominant lead, but I mean, it's still about at 75 points, so I mean, KSU starting to at least hang in there even with Penn State, but they're going to need to do way more than even to get back in this one.
Shank finds 2 in the rotation. Set up top third is a very good spot to be in if you're KSU, but P5 not known for its Money Hill factor in turn. It's very hard to collect time in here uncontested, and just like that, Este is going to be caught by the nade of Taze. It's 3 down for KSU. Penn State are able to hop in for time. You see KSU spawning all the way deep inside this train yard. Blair set up from Penn State to cut them off. Taze on screen, but not looking the right way. He's going to get caught out, and that's going to send Penn State a little bit in shambles, trying to find the rest of these players. Este is going to take down 1 more. Back into the hill they go. 14 seconds of scrap time that they want to pick up.
I mean, great stuff right now coming out of this squad for sure. Johnson going to be trying to lay down this fire, and right now not going to be able to make it happen, but Taze is on the other side, so still a 50-point advantage or so coming in for Penn State on these rotations, and it is going to be Penn State that I believe do have the spawns as they're going to be starting to flood on in, trying to break this hold.
Shank hits the route, lines up 2, Trauma a 3rd. Nate's going to take down Shank, but it doesn't matter. Damage has been done. Shank is all alone inside this on an island, still collecting time for Penn State, so KSU, they need to start flooding on into it. They're finally going to take down Shades, but he's able to find a lot of time on that one, and hey, KSU, they're coming alive right now. If they find the rest of this, they are very much back in this hard point.
Yeah, most definitely, and I mean, they are able to lock this one down. It looks like there's going to be 1 more player challenging, and he is going to find success. So now player 1's going to turn around. Snake, it's going to be a 1v1 for the scrap time over here. As it's contested, it's going to be won by Taze for these final 10 seconds. Now moving on to the mailroom, you can spot player number 4 in Trauma. He's got all the lockdown that he needs to be able to... Oh, but he gets taken out by Shades from far away. Shades was a mile away when he beamed him over there, and now, I mean, ooh, this is going to be a mean hold coming in by KSU. This is going to be Penn State trying to flood in from this middle side right now.
They turn this into initial. Johnson almost finds 2 for the rotation. So these fights are going to be up to the SMGs. And the inside, oh, Taze just deleted Este. Inside of that, App is going to start collecting this time as well. You still see some presence out of the Owls around this one, but all the kills turning up Penn State. A lot of blue in that kill feed as they have looked flawless on their breaks. They do it once more inside the mailroom. Big 1-on-1 here, but Taze on roller skates hits the slide, hits the turn and burn, and absolutely puts Este in the dirt.
Yeah, that was a massive kill coming out. And I mean, right now, this is the thing. Penn State, what they did on the first set of rotations was they gave up this lobby. You know, this rotation, they did not win it last time. Penn State, they're not gonna make the same error. You know, that's why they sent Tased way over there so early, and now they've got the spawns. They say, you could have that scrap time. We're going to try to turn this lobby into a money hill. If we can lock this down, which they have every capability of doing, I mean, this could be almost putting them at game point.
Mapex evens us up for the attack so far. Trauma working his way through docks, and Apex is just picking them off one by one, leaving it a little bit easy for the rest of the team for Penn State inside this hill to clean up the scraps. And Shades goes down, not able to pull those spawns yet for KSU. So they're going to be fighting from this upper courtyard, and I think they know that Apex is on the hunt right now. He's got 5 in a row. Can he find these streaks? That's not going to be a streak just yet. Johnson steals it with the grenade, and Apex is going to go down, so not able to get any streaks, but Penn State still looking to eclipse this 200-point marker going into Hill 4 of Berlin. They still have the spawns back here, so they're going to be looking to take down Snake, and yeah, they're going to eclipse 200 points.
Great stuff coming out of Penn State right there. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. They got the early rotation and turned it into a ton of time for them right here. And now with a 90-point advantage in this one, I mean, they might be looking to beat them by 100 in the hard point yet again. I mean, we said it. Things get close early on, but at the end of the day, Penn State answering right on back, being able to rack up a ton of points here. And now it is going to be KSU locking down this train yard, and they're doing a pretty decent job of it so far.
Yeah, this isn't a want, this is a need to find a full 60 here for KSU. You don't want to allow Penn State to push this any more into their favor. That's a solid 4 down to keep time in your advantage. 30 seconds to pick up. Now, you're not going to get close to Penn State, but you are going to cut down this lead going into Hill 5, which could be your answer back to this whole Berlin. But Penn State looks like they want to take another hit at this. They're going to be flooding on in, looking to find these kills. Snake and Trauma find 2 for KSU. So far, that's about it. And Taste shutting down Trauma in the back. That's going to start pinning KSU in the back line here. And Penn State are going to be now set up in such a good position for this P5.
I mean, a great job for sure coming out of this Penn State squad, being able to at least get a lot of the scrap time there. And I mean, right now, every point is a good point if you're Penn State. You know, every single one, you're that much closer right now. KSU, they've got a big mountain to climb, and the more they can make this mountain grow, it's going to be massive for this Penn State squad. And now, big challenge going to be coming out. Trauma's going to be losing that one, and here we go. It's KSU going to be spawning up, flying in.
Last chance for KSU. Top third, Johnson's going to find Este. Cuts off the player from behind, so all eyes in the front of this hill. 2:42. 8 seconds left, and Penn State are going to be walking away with this series. Snakes trying to get in for one last chance. Epic's going to come down 3 down, make it 4 down again. And tonight, on Tuesday, the CCL is pushing PSU. They're going to take it 3-1. They're going to take Berlin, and they are going to go 1-0 up in the start of Stage 2.
Yeah, I mean, things got a little bit shaky here and there, but still Penn State able to clutch up when they need to the most, and especially in the hard points, they looked oh so clean, showing why they haven't dropped one this entire season long. Penn State looking clean, I mean, all across the board. I mean, it's a valiant effort from everybody. If you look at Taze, though, 22 out of the 26 kills he had were non-traded kills, so great stuff going to be coming out of him. But, I mean, if you look at the damage in Penn State, they are all within 180 points. That 180 damage of each other. That is a well-rounded team effort if I've ever seen one.
I expected it coming into the series. Penn State, they're a well-rounded roster. There's a reason why they're number 10 inside the power rankings. A lot of people inside the CCL, they have their eyes on this team to be one of the best right now inside of this season. And it's because of their teamwork. It's the way they get things done, the way they trust each other, and their hard points look like they're on another level against teams like KSU.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I wanted to see from them going into Stage 2. KSU had something to prove here. They wanted to show that they can hang with the best inside of Tier 1 of the Southeast Division. Whereas Penn State, they were here to just get the job done, make it look like business as usual, and that's exactly what it looked like today.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it was another day, another walk in the park for this Penn State squad. I mean, and I got to be honest, I'm becoming a fan of them. I mean, Penn State right now, they're rolling through the competition. Yes, they did drop one map today. They lost their first control of the season. But, I mean, at the end of the day, still, this squad, oh so dominant, clutching up when they need to. I mean, I definitely like what I'm seeing right here.
I'm loving what I'm seeing here, but let's take a look back at the maps, Rome, at the whole series that we got through this, because their hard points were dominant. but it's not even in. I mean, that's showing up Berlin 6-4. The scoreline doesn't tell the tale. They go down 3-0. They climb back with 4 rounds in a row to flip that lead. They were able to even this up for the Owls, but, I mean, that whole little stint that we saw at Penn State on the Berlin, it was dominant in its own, just showing the adjustments that they made. A little bit of a slip up inside the control, but they get right back into form for that Berlin hard point. 250 to 163 to close out this series. We don't get to see a map 5 today between these two teams, but we get to see a Penn State that looks dominant in stage 2. That's looking to take names.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, if you're going to be dominant in a mode, you want it to be hard point simply because it's going to be setting that tone in the first map. You get it again in map number 4, and I mean, Penn State, they're currently still undefeated in hard point, so all you teams out there looking to take them out, they've taken a loss in search now. They've taken a loss in control now. Guess what? Hard point, still going to be their bread and butter. It's going to be a long journey for anybody looking to take them out in a best-of-5 series.
It is going to be a long journey, in fact, but that's going to be it for our match number 1 on CCL. Rome, what a crazy match to open this one up as well. I'm excited for the storylines that we get in stage 2. You know, coming into this, a lot of teams are going to be looking to fight to be at the top of these divisions, and now that you're going head-to-head with teams of your own caliber, that's going to shake things up a lot. That's going to shake up the standings, not only inside the CCL season, but inside the power rankings for a lot of these teams as well.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot more incredible plays, a lot more close series as well. I mean, we did see, as you stated, a lot of 3-0s did happen in stage 1, but guess what? Stage 2, all these teams are playing against teams of the same caliber or at least close to it. I mean, you saw it here tonight. Penn State, they've only dropped 1 map before in the entire season, and it was in week number 1. They haven't dropped a map in over a month, and then finally this KSU squad is able to get one off of them here in stage number 2. The first week of stage 2 as well, they get the map off of them. So already they've cracked the chink in the Penn State armor. And I mean, right now, honestly, Penn State, they're still looking like the number 10. Honestly, I got to be honest, they're still definitely looking like a top 10 school for sure.
And you know, maybe they are going to look a little bit more vulnerable against these top teams, but that's what you expect inside of that. But like we said, it's going to be it for our match number 1. Coming up next, folks, it's going to be the New Haven Chargers versus the Western Mustangs as we switch things up into gear. We're also going to be playing a little bit of Caster musical chairs. Just joining me on the desk for the next series is going to be Mick. Rome, we are going to be saying goodbye for you for the day. We hope to see you all next in our next matchup as well. Like I said, New Haven Chargers for the Western Mustangs. We'll see you in a bit.